I want y'all heathens here who's shutting the government down. Since y'all playing the blame game.
Day 28 of the Democrat shutdown. We're almost a month into this, and we wanted to highlight a couple of things and a few members this morning. There are some very important developments. But before we get to all that, one of the things that we wanted to note is that really it's painfully obvious to everyone the true motivation of the Democrats' historic obstruction has now become very clear for everyone. I want to use a little simple graph. Lily, if you show me this real quick. Just real quick, simple facts, because these things get obscured too much. But there are simple facts about the Democrat shutdown that everybody needs to recognize. Here's 4 of them. First of all, we have to have Democrats to reopen the government. You know that in the Senate it requires 60 votes to break an impasse. Hang it on, Lily, hold it real here. Keep it close to the podium. I want everybody to see this, okay? We're going to make it simple. I had my 15-year-old son and some of his friends were together over the weekend, and they wanted me to explain it to them as simply as possible. This is a little formulation, okay? Hey, fellas, remember from civics, you got to have 60 votes in the Senate. We only have 53 Republicans, so we must have Democrats to do it. The Democrats are out trying to claim that this is all on Republicans because we control the government. We don't control the Senate without 60 votes, so you have to have them. Now they've voted 13 times, those Senate Democrats, counting the House and the Senate together, they voted 13 times to keep the government closed. And what they're demanding as a ransom to reopen the government are some really crazy things. They want to restore $200 billion in health benefits paid for by U.S. taxpayers to illegal aliens and non-citizens. We can't do that. They want billions of dollars in wasteful programs to be returned to foreign countries for things that none of you would agree with. We're not going to do that. They want $500 million to go back to left-leaning news organizations, paid for by taxpayers. We can't do that. And then they want to cut $50 billion from the Rural Hospital Fund that Republicans got signed into law July 4th to prop up health care in red states and rural areas around the country. It's too important, but they want to take that away. They know that we can't do it. And now that they've begun to admit what this is all about, thanks, Lee, put on the thing there. They're admitting what they're up to. Chuck Schumer said every day of the shutdown gets better for us, meaning the Democrat Party. And you know, we had the second-ranked Democrat in the House, the minority whip, who just said a few days ago, the end of last week, that we know that this is causing great pain for the American people, but we have to use this leverage. We don't have many times where we have leverage like this. And so they've shown you what the real motivation is. But ultimately, why are they doing all that? Let me summarize this really quickly, as simply as I can, for the civic students back home. Republicans are not demanding anything, literally nothing. All we want is to reopen the government. The Democrats are demanding all those things I just showed you on the chart, plus a lot more. When I say they want to send money to foreign countries, this is some of the things that they would propose that we spend money on again. They're demanding, this is a ransom to reopen the government. Things like $4 million for global LGBTQI plus awareness campaigns around the world. $4 million for the LGBTQI plus democracy grants in the Balkans. They want $2 million for feminist democratic principles projects in Africa. We're not doing that. But again, the question is why? Why? This sounds crazy. It is. Why would they do this? And what we saw on vivid display over the weekend was the re-emphasis of this fact. This is motivated purely out of fear. And what do we mean by that? You saw the Democratic leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, endorse Zoran Mamdani for mayor of New York City on Friday. It was an illustration of what we're facing here. The Democrats right now fear the far left activists more than they fear air traffic controllers, border patrol agents, American service members and so many others missing their paychecks. They fear the Marxist insurgents like Mamdani more than they fear families and children going hungry from lapsed benefits that keep food on their tables. They simply fear losing their own political positions next November if they don't appease the angry far left base right now. And they will appease that base at any cost, no matter how much pain's inflicted. In fact, they've said in their own words, this gets better for us day by day. How does it get better? Because they're proving to the angry far left base in their party that they will prioritize them over the American people. And simply put, it's their profound fear in the Democratic Party that drives this shutdown. It is not principle, it is not policy, it is certainly not concern for the constituents that they say that they want to represent. We know that because even their own constituents now are begging Democrats to stop the political games and reopen the government. Just yesterday, the largest union of federal workers, the very people that the Democrats claim that they fight for, came out publicly and urged the Democrats to join the Republicans in passing the House's very simple short-term funding bill. Also, yesterday, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association began to put up flyers in airports to explain the real danger that is being imposed for air travel, air safety in this country, highlighting what the Democrats are doing. So I just want to say this simply to our Democrat colleagues. You have an off-ramp now. You painted yourself into a corner, but here's your off-ramp. The unions, the largest unions are saying, please do this. You can claim that as cover and say that you had to do it. Reopen the government. Get it working for the people. It's our #1 priority and responsibility as members of Congress. But Senate Democrats have refused to do it for almost a month now. I've said it over and over, Republicans have done our job. We passed the clean short-term funding extension to keep the lights on and pay all these workers and our troops and fund programs like SNAP and WIC that Americans need and rely on. And in the meantime, Republicans have been working very hard around the clock every day of this Democrat shutdown to do our best to reduce the pain for our constituents. In our districts, we got a video running over here just showing some highlights of what all the House Republicans are doing and have been doing for the last few weeks. Out in their districts, they're trying to help Americans navigate the crisis that the Democrats have created with their selfish political decisions. Here's a few more examples this morning we wanted to highlight. In Montana, Congressman Troy Downing, these are all Republicans doing work back home. He's met directly with his TSA officers and air traffic controllers who continue to show up to work while Democrats keep the government closed. In New York, Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis has been working around the clock, hand in hand, for example, with her local national park officials to organize community cleanups and maintain our public lands, doing the work Democrats left behind as park rangers and visitors staff remain furloughed under their shutdown. In Sullivan County, Indiana, and down in South Texas, you have Congressman Mark Messmer and Brian Babin. They've strategized with rural hospital leaders to ensure that these communities are able to access that $50 billion rural hospital fund, by the way, that the Democrats want to defund. This is the very funds that the Democrats worked hard to kill in their counter-proposal to reopen the government. In South Carolina, Congresswoman Sherry Biggs has been meeting with her small business owners who continue to serve their communities, many of whom are already feeling the benefits from Republicans' work to deliver no tax on tips. We did that in the big, beautiful bill, the Working Families Tax Cut. It's a wildly popular measure that, by the way, every Democrat voted against. In Oregon, Congressman Cliff Bentz is meeting with his air traffic officials as they wait on Democrats to reopen the government and deliver the federal funds they need to expand that region's critical air travel infrastructure. And here in Washington, the work has gone on in earnest as well. People keep commenting to me, you look so tired on TV. I am so tired because we're not sleeping a lot. We're working overtime. Here in Washington, our House committees have continued to conference together and do all the work we can to ensure legislation is ready for the floor for action as soon as we get back to legislative session. The House also continues to carry out its essential oversight duties, and you'll be reporting on this all day, but the Oversight Chairman James Comer released a blockbuster report now on the Biden auto pen presidency. And this report includes 47 hours worth of transcripts and testimony revealing that every executive action signed by the auto pen without written authorization from President Biden should be voided. This is an unprecedented situation in American politics and government.
Get the right care right away.
That's right.
Because life. Highmark Blue Shield.
The actions of President Biden simply were not all his own actions, and there are major implications to that, including all the pardons that he signed. But don't get me started. Okay, on Friday, the Energy and Commerce Chairman, Brett Guthrie, these are all Republican actions, he launched a bipartisan investigation into the NBA's handling of betting and illegal gambling allegations following the recent shocking reports that raised questions and integrity concerns. And as we covered last week, the House Oversight Committee also delivered its third batch of files from the Epstein investigation, now totaling 43,000 pages and documents, pieces of evidence, including personal flight logs, financial ledgers, daily calendars, and diaries of Epstein himself. Republicans are here in Washington, and we're out in our district, fanned out across the country, doing good work on behalf of the people we serve and represent. And what are the Democrats doing? You've seen it. They're posting TikTok videos. They're bragging about using the American people's pain as their political leverage. And House Republicans are taking this day by day, just like the rest of the country. We have our House Republicans on a 48-hour return notice so they can get back, understanding that some flights may well be delayed. But to get everybody back here as soon as possible, as soon as the Democrats decide to do the right thing and reopen the government, we will get back to immediate and urgent and necessary business on the House floor itself. We're anxious to get back to that, but we cannot have a regular legislative session until the Democrats do their most basic responsibility to reopen the government and get this moving again. So today we're fortunate to be joined by several of our good friends and colleagues here, all members of the Republican Study Committee, and the chairman of that committee, the largest caucus of conservatives in Congress, is Representative August Pfluger from Texas, and we're glad to have him as well. He's going to share a little bit about the reckless decision of the Democrats and what that means for military readiness and families all across this country. We are so grateful for these great members and their leadership. August will reference who's here, and then we'll take some questions. So, Chairman Pfluger.
Thank you, Speaker.
Sure.
Speaker, you're doing a great job, and I think we all know that today's Democrat Party is not the party of JFK, who once famously said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." Instead, today, Democrats under Schumer and Clark and Mondami are saying, "Ask not what you can do for your country, but who you can leverage for your radical agenda." Ask not what you can do for your country, but who you can leverage for your radical agenda. I'm August Pfluger. I'm chairman of the Republican Study Committee. We have some great members, including Burgess Owens, Stephanie Bice, Harriet Hageman, and Craig Goldman, who are with me. And, you know, it's really sad to think about what Catherine Clark said last week. She said, of course, there will be families that are going to suffer, but this is one of the few leverage times we have. My colleagues stand for families. The Republican Party stands for families because we believe and we know that our greatest asset in this country is the American family, that our country rests on the shoulders of families, that the Republican Party will always advocate for families, that we will look up for families, that we will legislate to prosper families. And instead, the family is only a point of leverage for our Democrat colleagues. How sad is that? You know, I'm thinking about military families right now. I'm thinking about that soldier who is deployed around the globe to keep our country safe, to push back against a threat. And I'm thinking about that phone call that soldier probably received this year, this month, in the last couple of days, asking whether or not they're going to get a paycheck, talking about the new baby at home, trying to figure out if they're going to be able to pay their rent or even buy some groceries or put gas in the car. I was there. I'm a veteran. I've been serving on active duty when shutdowns happened. This is a very stressful time for military families. And commanders right now instead of being focused on the mission, instead of being focused on the threat, instead of being focused on the training and the exercises that keep our readiness and our lethality at the highest possible levels, now they're focusing all of their attention on making sure that their families of their subordinates, their soldiers and their airmen, their Marines, their sailors are taken care of, that they actually have the resources. And we have members of the Republican Party who are in our communities right now convening groups of community leaders in banks, food banks, and other resources. Because Schumer has chosen not to pay them, now communities are having to take up with 0% interest bridge loans. Now communities are having to defer those mortgage payments and those car payments. So where the Democrat Party is failing, our communities are succeeding, because they know that the right thing to do is to fund and help in this time of need. You know, the enemy has not shut down. Our enemies around the world want us to be divided. I'm calling on my colleagues on the other side of the aisle who served in the military to do the right thing. We were there. We were there when Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi put CRs on the floor, and guess what? We did the right thing. Multiple times we did the right thing. Where are my Democrat colleagues who served in uniform to stand up and rise above petty politics, to do the right thing? Have you not gone home to your districts to hear from your military communities, from your federal workers? Have you not listened to your local communities telling you to stop the nonsense? No. You know what? They're not there. They're in New York City campaigning for Mondami.
We've devoted our professional lives to righting wrongs where a company or a person has harmed another.
Maybe they've orchestrated this so that they had the time to go campaign for an outright socialist. Maybe this was orchestrated so they could go do that. No, this isn't the party of JFK anymore. This is the party of Schumer and Mondami, the party that bows to the radical left.
Party of hate.
I hope that everybody can see the split screen of what's happening in this country. The speaker has so eloquently talked about the fact that Republicans are doing our job to take care of families, that over 13 times the Senate Republicans have voted to fund our military, to fund TSA, to make sure our Border Patrol can get paid and all federal workers can get paid, and Democrats continue to obstruct. I hope you can see the dichotomy between the two sides here. And I'm calling on Democrat members, especially those who served in the military, to do the right thing and to stop the nonsense. With that, I hand it over to my good friend, our leader, Mr. Steve Scalise.
Thank you, Chairman Pfluger. Thank you for your service to our country, especially to all those men and women who are currently serving our nation, whether it be in the military, federal employees that are still working, showing up on their job, but because of Chuck Schumer and Democrats who have bowed to the socialist radicals in their party, those federal workers are not getting paid. We've talked up here for weeks now about some of those hardships, how it's going to affect people, and ultimately now how it is affecting people. Those impacts are now being felt. It's not hypothetical anymore. It's not some memo from a department laying out what might happen. We're starting to hear those stories. You can see, and our conference chair, Lisa McClain, has done a really good job of compiling a lot of the work that's being done by many of our colleagues. One of the reasons we're not meeting in session is because the Democrats shut down the government, but also because of that shutdown, our members are now busy in their districts mopping up a lot of the mess created by those Democrats because of the shutdown, the hardships it's created on families. And those are real hardships, and I applaud my colleagues who are in their districts trying to figure out ways to help people during this difficult time, working with food banks to get food to people who are missing SNAP benefits, WIC payments. military members who are not getting paid, but they're overseas, as Chairman Pfluger talked about. While their family's still here, those babies still have needs, and yet the paycheck's not coming in. Those bills are still due. And Democrats think this is some kind of game. Speakers talked about this over and over again, but what has their reaction been? Not figuring out a solution to get out of it, an off-ramp. It's doing stupid TikTok videos, making fun of this situation, thinking that the American people are leverage in their game to get some kind of unachievable goal. $1.5 trillion in new spending, $200 billion in taxpayer benefits for illegals, gutting $50 billion out of a healthcare fund for rural hospitals. And again, they try to claim it's about something else. Maybe it's about health care. Well, if it was about health care, they wouldn't be gutting $50 billion out of the rural health care fund. They wouldn't have fought, by the way, on the Senate floor months ago to remove a provision, the cost-sharing ratios, that would have lowered premiums on families by 11%. It was in our bill. We voted for it, passed out of the House. Democrats are still to this day bragging that they removed that provision from the bill that would have lowered premiums, health insurance premiums on families by 11%. And they want to talk about health care? Give me a break. Look at what they've done. They've wrecked the health care system. They fought to raise premiums on families. Democrats have over and over again, and now they're imposing real pain on American families with this shutdown. We've got some new numbers that have come in, and these are not good numbers, unfortunately. Reuters reported more than 2,700 flights delayed nationwide on Monday, and more than 8,600 flight delays just Sunday. 8,600 flight delays. Think of how many families were impacted. Every flight, well over 100 people on each one of those 8,600 flights that were delayed, all because Chuck Schumer and radical Democrats want to use American people as leverage. A Democrat aide said they won't concede short of, quote, planes falling out of the sky. Who are these people?
Hi, Heather.
How are you?
Well, Heather found out my Widowmaker was 97% stocked up.
Didn't they once care about this great nation and making it better? And now they think if a plane falls out of the sky, that's their leverage? For what? Goodness. Chuck Schumer, quote, every day gets better for us. Who is us? Because I can tell you who them are. The American people are sick and tired of Chuck Schumer and his friends thinking it's a better day for him when they are feeling more pain. Senator Coons, quote, the point of this shutdown is not just suffering for suffering's sake, but to make a point, as if suffering of the American people is not enough. We've heard, of course, over and over again, Catherine Clark, shutdowns are terrible. Of course, there will be families that are going to suffer, but it is one of the few leverage times we have. They keep saying over and over again, they know American people are suffering. They don't care. They want leverage for themselves. They want to show off to their radical socialist base. Bernie, of course, Bernie Sanders, who was on the stage with AOC over with Mandami the other day with their socialist love fest. Bernie, quote, you reopen the government and we lose our leverage. That's what this whole shutdown is about. They're telling you what they mean. Democrat source in the Hill article last week that we talked about, quote, we would have enough votes to reopen the government if people were not terrified of getting the guillotine. This is Democrats being afraid of their own base because their base is so radical that they're afraid of their base. The American Federation of Government Employees, we talked about this yesterday, came out and said, quote, it's time to pass a clean continuing resolution and end this shutdown today. No half measures and no gamesmanship. Rep. Amelia Sykes said, quote, we know that people are going to suffer if we don't open the government. People will go hungry. Well, she knows it. She's causing that hunger, but let's put a point on this. In an ABC article regarding the 42 million Americans that are going to lose SNAP benefits next week. Joe Berg, who's the CEO of the nonprofit Hunger Free America, said this, quote, We are going to see the greatest hunger crisis since the Great Depression. And that's not hyperbole, that's just true. The greatest hunger crisis since the Great Depression, when 42 million people lose their SNAP benefits this weekend. What are these Democrats waiting for? This is not a game. This is not leverage. They're taking food off the table for families, for babies. It's disgusting. It's time to end the madness. They can go on the Senate floor today. Just 5 of them need to get courage. Just 5 of them need to get the courage to do the right thing and open the government today and end this pain and end the suffering that they've caused. Then we can go negotiate our differences. Yield to the whip. Tom Emmer.
As has been mentioned, yesterday the largest federal workers union in the country, represent 820,000 federal workers, released a statement calling on Democrats to stop playing political games, pass our clean CR, and reopen the government. What was Chuck Schumer's response? Silence. Crickets. He declined to comment. Meanwhile, millions of federal workers are reevaluating how to make ends meet. Air traffic controllers missed their first full paycheck today. Some are turning to food banks, as we've discussed, in order to feed their families. Here is what one Democrat and retired federal worker had to say about the current state of play. Quote, "The Democrats are the ones that actually, in the Senate side, shut down the government. So they have to get together and stop holding Americans hostage. We're about to have people without food, and that's ridiculous. It's not worth it." Remember, that's coming from a Democrat and retired federal worker. Since Chuck Schumer and company won't listen to us, maybe they'll start listening to members of their own party. Enough is enough. You're playing politics with people's lives. And as Leader Scalise and the Speaker have reminded us, for what? So that you can appease the radical pro-terrorist wing of your party. So that you can fundraise off of picking a fight with President Trump. It's not worth it. In fact, it's despicable and downright wrong. There's a nonpartisan government funding bill waiting in the Senate to be sent to President Trump's desk immediately. It will come to the floor for a vote for the 13th time this morning. Put an end to the madness, do the right and reasonable thing that you did back in March, by the way, and vote yes on our clean CR. Instead of complaining about a new White House ballroom, how about you try doing your actual job and reopen the government for the people you were elected to serve? Our conference chair.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. And I first want to extend a thank you to the RSC chair and the members of the RSC who are here today. And thank you for all the work that you've been doing in the district. I know we appreciate it, and more importantly, I know your constituents appreciate it. I know I've been standing at this podium with Speaker Johnson and House leadership for weeks now. And every time we have said the same thing. Republicans voted to keep the government open. Democrats voted to shut it down. Period. It is that simple. This week, more than any other week, the consequences become impossible to ignore. As of yesterday, more than 10,000 flights have been delayed because of staffing shortages. By the end of this week, nearly 2 million paychecks will be missed by Americans. And by Saturday, 42 million Americans will lose their SNAP benefits. Let that sink in. 42 million Americans will lose their SNAP benefits this Saturday because Democrats want to use them as leverage. This is real pain, real fear, and real consequences. And Democrats are using that as political leverage. And leverage for what? Ask them this. Leverage for what? To to force through illegal benefits for illegal immigrants to the tune of $1.5 trillion? they'd rather do that and put 42 million Americans at risk of losing their SNAP benefits. That's what they're choosing. That's what they're choosing. Let that sink in for a minute. This isn't leadership. This is cruel and disgusting, and it's cruelty disguised as politics. Even the president of the largest federal workers union, and I don't know if you noticed that, but he doesn't exactly always cheer for Republicans, but this gentleman is actually begging the Democrats to do the right thing and end the shutdown. Well, Democrats posture in front of the cameras, Republicans are actually out in their districts working. Just take a look at the video that we've been playing all morning, right? Don't let the facts get in the way of the good story. Republicans, like the colleagues you see behind me, have been in their district working for the American people who are suffering from this Democratic Schumer-led shutdown. You will see Republicans volunteering at food banks, Republicans supporting rural hospitals, Republicans cleaning up national parks, and Republicans helping people in real ways. Republicans believe in solutions, not stunts. We believe in serving the American people, not using them. So while Democrats try to turn American hardship into political currency, Republicans are working to reopen the government, to restore paychecks, and bring stability back to American families. Because this isn't about leverage, it's about people. And we are here to serve. It's about time the Democrats remember who they serve. Thank you.
See, now you heard.
All right, questions? Go ahead, Fred.
See, now you heard that, ladies and gentlemen. For those who only get one side of the story, remember, there's always two sides of the story. So the Democrat devil's gonna give y'all their side. They never present y'all the other side because they want to keep y'all in the darkness. So I just wanted to play this video to show you heathens and hypocrites who's keeping the government shut down. It's the Demoncrats, y'all. They want to destroy America, ladies and gentlemen. That's their whole agenda. We already know them house niggas don't give a damn about other niggas on the plantation. We know that. We got the proof. We got the facts. We got that big ear ass nigga talking about to the younger generation that it's important to vote for a black woman, right? You heard him, right? Played the video. Played the video. Y'all can hear that hypocrite ass nigga try to have them beta males out there voting for Kamala Harris, knowing she wasn't even black, but now turn around and voting for Schamberg down there in Virginia. And this ain't got nothing to do with race. Like I said, this ain't got nothing to do with race. It just got something to do with showing you the hypocrisy that always come from this Democratic Party of these house niggas, man. Them niggas got to go, man. Them niggas in the way, y'all. Straight up. Them niggas ain't here for us, y'all. They already got your replacement here. Ain't about, oh man, they trying to replace y'all. They gonna replace y'all. They already got the motherfuckers here working. Ladies and gentlemen, look around. Who you see doing all the work around here? Ladies and gentlemen, they already here replacing you. You know what I mean? So y'all just heard that live and direct. Them some bitches out that bitch holding the American people hostage like a motherfucker for leverage. Playing with your baby stomach. Like you said, come September, that's it. I mean, come Saturday, that's it. No, and what's the day? Tuesday? Come Saturday, no benefits hit. Boom. You already know what it is. Is that love or hate for you? Is that love or hate for you? That they holding their motherfucking vote for leverage. And rather starve the American people if the illegal migrants don't get their benefits and their money. That's crazy. If that don't show you that they here to destroy America and they put America last, man, this shit is right here in y'all face. There's no way in hell y'all should still be in denial about that shit. I just rolled past Gazam office. 2 black folks in there. Young man and a young woman in there. I was gonna go up in there. But it's like they looking at every car that ride by that motherfucker and shit. Because they know deep inside. We working for a person that's holding out on the vote to put food in our baby's stomach. You understand me? It's sad, man. And we already know the history of the Democratic Party. Always been of the devil. God damn it. And you heathens that work for the devil. You demons. You Demoncrats. You niggas. Y'all been exposed. God damn it. For those who's in denial, they either getting crumbs off the plate or your family member is part of the go along, get along gang. That's why you don't want to throw them under the bus. But the shit is right here in your face. It's the Demoncrats that's holding y'all hostage. Ladies and gentlemen, for leverage. For leverage. Let that marinate, ladies and gentlemen. Is that love for you or hate? God damn it. Like the Republicans said, keep the motherfucking government open and we can still battle. We can go behind doors and do all this, but open up the government. You understand me? They don't even have common sense for that. They doing TikTok videos laughing with illegal migrants. Running way over in the motherfucking jails to protect them. But when it comes to the American people, they put them last, y'all. God damn, that shit right here in your face. How hard they was fighting for these illegal migrants. Going over in these, what was that, Cambodia or some shit like that. They don't even talk about that shit no more because they was trying to run off that. Trying to go to these motherfucking different prisons and say these illegal migrants. They was fighting hard. Motherfuckers was losing their job. Motherfuckers got locked up for that shit. The sister over there in Jersey, pushing the motherfucking agent. Lost the motherfucking job and got a fine and all that shit. Motherfuckers was putting their life and jobs on the line for these illegal migrants. But yet, it comes to the American people, and here it is, come the holidays. God damn it. And these motherfuckers saying, they using y'all for leverage. And your baby gonna starve. They gonna inflict some pain. On who? The American people. Because why? They don't give a damn about the American people. Y'all, wake up. But like I said, we got white folk dealing with white folk, and we got black folk dealing with black folk. You understand me? Good versus evil on both sides of the race card, goddammit. Don't get it twisted. It's all about good versus evil, and we see evil and hypocrisy. Coming from where? The Democratic Party and niggas, house niggas. It always been like that. From the past, that party that want to keep you enslaved, ladies and gentlemen. They want to keep you enslaved. They rather starve you and your babies on these holidays for leverage. And y'all just heard the facts. But some of y'all still won't believe it. Oh, the Republicans, but they still got to vote. They only got 3 people on the Democratic side that stepped to the podium. That stepped up, that said, hold on, let's keep this funding going because people gonna get hurt and people gonna starve. People gotta pay bills and things of that nature. Let's keep it open for that. But it's sad, man. It's sad, y'all. That Democratic Party is of the devil, y'all. They need to be eliminated. Flat out. Flat out. I'm sorry to say it, man. But it says it in our scriptures, y'all. That it's going to come a time that you got to sharpen that sword. And it's a time for peace. It's a time for motherfucking love. It's a time for motherfucking hate. And it's a time for war. And God damn it, it's the time for war. God damn it. The Most High soldiers is here to start decapitating you head of you motherfucking devils. Cutting you devil heads, slam off your shoulders. God damn it. Facts. We got to clean out our backyard to move to that next level. We must do that. God damn it, these niggas been selling us out since the 60s. God damn it. It's a time for change. God damn it. It's a time for a revolution. God damn it. And it's going to be bloodshed in the revolution. God damn it. And that's a fact. It's going to be bloodshed in the revolution. It's time for change. It's time to go out with the old and come in with the new. It's time for change around this motherfucker, man. Them old motherfucking house niggas been selling us out, y'all. And the facts are here. God damn it. They here. I told you they all connected with that Divine Nine shit, that Freemason shit. Eastern Star, the Elks, all those organizations are of the devil. God damn it. I presented the facts. I know your parents and your family members are engaged in it. They didn't have the tools that we got now to research that shit. To find out that it is of the devil. And we already know the Most High is a jealous God. God damn it. Is a jealous God. The Most High is. How are you bowing down, taking oaths to other gods? God damn it, when you go to church every Sunday and give all praises to who? You are a fucking heathen and a hypocrite in your everyday life. God damn it, in your everyday life. So miss me with that old, perfect, I'm above you. When you are not, you beneath my shoes, God damn it, my boots, my army boots, God damn it. That's where you at. You beneath my army boots. Facts. God damn it. We all know the NAACP been nigga haters since that organization was formed. And that organization was formed by who? White people. Do the research. White people formed the NAACP with some niggas. W.E.B. Du Bois and them hating ass niggas that went against Garvey, that said Garvey must go. God damn it, is that love or hate for you? But then turn around and had the young white girl say she was black and she was the president of the NAACP. They threw her under the bus. But the NAACP reached out to her and left a statement for her to leave her alone. God damn it. Why? Because it was formed by white ladies. God damn it. The head of the NAACP was white people. God damn it. Everything, god damn it, that was told and taught to you was a motherfucking lie. And I'm here to expose it. To the truth. The truth will set you free. God damn it. Do the research. Stop being a yes ma'am and a yes nigga. God damn it. Do your research. And you'll see. Is that love for you or hate? Throughout our ancestors' history. All the way up until now. God damn it. Is it love or hate for you? To starve your babies for leverage. That's wicked. That's selfish. God damn it. Then you got the first gay president, Barry Obama. The big-eared mule. God damn it, that's what he is. A big-eared mule. God damn it. Endorsing. And this ain't got nothing to do with race. But god damn it, he said it. He said that to them young boys. Them young beta male ass niggas. And he put it in perspective as, you must vote for her because she's black. He brought up the race card. They known for that shit. And preached that vote for Kamala Harris because she's black. But she didn't even acknowledge she was black. God damn it. And when it came to reparations, she said, oh no!
We support reparations for black people. Also is this, any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
Wow. See, now you heard that. Is that love or hate for you? God damn it. Huh? Is that love or hate for you? But Barack Obama was telling them niggas to go out there and vote for her, who don't even acknowledge herself being black. God damn it. What are y'all running out there? What games are y'all running on our peoples? God damn it. Because we see right through that shit. God damn it. We see right through the bullshit. We got on x-ray glasses, 3D glasses, and all types of glasses. God damn it. We see the fuck shit coming from you house niggas.
Time when we shall wait patiently for 200 years if need be to make our enemies show our posterity. When my enemies are satisfied, in life I shall come back, or in death even to serve you as I serve before. In life I shall be the same, in death I shall be a terror.
It's Garvey snapping. Spazzing on them house niggas that was hating on him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hating ass NAACP house niggas.
If death has power, then count on me to be the real Marcus Garvey I would like to be. If I may come in an earthquake or a plague or a pestilence or as God would have me, then be assured that I shall never desert you and make your enemies triumph over you. Will I God not go to hell a million times for you? If I die in Atlanta, my work will only just then begin. For I shall live in the physical or the spiritual to see the day of Africa's glory. When I am dead, wrap the mantle of the red, the black and the green around me, for in the new life I shall rise up with God's grace and blessing to lead the millions of the heights and the triumph that you will know. Look for me in a whirlwind or a storm, look for me all around you, for with God's grace I shall come back with countless millions of black men and women who have died in America, those who have died in the West Indies, and those who have died in Africa, to aid you in the fight for liberty, freedom, and life. Any leadership.
Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this, y'all. Say it again, God.
Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own to make ourselves free men. Our great scholars have
They hated on Garvey for that.
have thrown away the blessed record. Babylon did it. Assyria did it. France under Napoleon did it. Germany under Prince von Bismarck did it. England under America under George Washington did it. Africa with 400 million black people can do it. If you cannot do it, if you are not prepared to do it, then you will die.
Facts.
You race of cowards, you race of imbeciles, you race of good for nothing. If you cannot do what other men have done, what other nations have done, what other races have done, then you have to die.
Facts. 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 God damn it. Facts. And they hated on him because of speeches like this that's telling you to uplift his own race. And niggas, house niggas hate it. The same thing with Elijah Muhammad. Telling you to love your brother and love your sister. And they called him a hate teacher. Because one of them old liberal ass white women told you he was a hate teacher. God damn it. Fuck wrong with y'all? One got the facts. Garvey on trial for what fucking George Soros doing now, selling stock and all that shit. Don't nobody do no time.
Great prophet, teacher, and leader.
Garvey on trial. Let's go.
Was August 17th, 1887. Garvey was a man who, in retrospect, was far ahead of his time. This is clearly proven by the fact that his ideologies have resurfaced today and could be considered a major factor in the liberation of African peoples the world over. He sought to revive the spirit of black people from despair to hope, from lethargy to positive action, from fear to courage, from inertia to assertiveness, from anti-discrimination dodges to manly confrontation. He gave them goals possible to man, the highest creation of God, because he believed with all his heart in the innate abilities of the African race. On August 1st, 1914, Garvey launched the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League in Jamaica, an organization to advocate the unity and blending of all Negroes into one strong, healthy race. After the First World War, there was a resurgence of the Ku Klux Klan influence in the United States. Another decade of racial hatred and open lawlessness had set in which Negroes were again prominent among the victims. African people were by this time more than ready for a Moses, and only a black man could express the depth of their feelings. Marcus Garvey settled that question for thousands by forming the U.S. branch of the UNIA and ACL in June 1917. On June 10, 1940, at the age of 53, Marcus Mosiah Garvey died in London of a severe stroke without having set foot in Africa. But his impact there was tremendous. He left a rich legacy of history for us to study and utilize in our continued quest for independence and liberation as a people.
The black race is one of the branches of the human race. As a section of humanity, he occupies a position in the world at the present
of the United States, along with the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Director J. Edgar Hoover, accused Marcus Garvey of using the U.S. mail on trial.
After 11 hours of deliberation, the jury was called in by the eminent Jewish jurist Judge Mack and given a second set of instructions without their request. The gist of it was that if they had come back with a not guilty or hung jury, to remember the expense in which the government would be put, the public would have lost time. The court, the jury, and the witnesses would have to go through the entire exercise again. They went back into the jury room and 30 minutes later came back with a verdict. Justice is greater than the law. If justice was not included in the law, then the law would be of no use to us as human beings. What I was concerned with was the truth. I asked no mercy. I asked no sympathy. I asked for justice based on the evidence given in the courtroom. I later found out that the judge wanted to speed things up because he had an appointment with the International Zionist Convention in Chicago. It was also due to the fact that I had acquired my first set of papers for naturalization. In my closing statement, I told those 12 men that they were to judge a man by the testimony, by what had been brought into the case, by their judgment of what is wrong and what is right. You may condemn the body, but not the soul. It was not in their power to condemn the body. God condemns the soul. Judge me, and God will judge you for judging Marcus Garvey. The trial took 5.5 weeks, and every day I had a fight with the district attorney. As we went along, I realized it was impossible for me to escape the traps that were being laid out by the press, rival organizations, personal enemies, foreign governments who were interested in me being convicted. No one, not even the absent attorney, could have fought for me as I fought for myself, because he would have been risking the friendship and goodwill of the powerful influences that were aligned against me. There were several witnesses brought in by the government, who probably because of a bribe would say anything the prosecutors told them to. For instance, Edgar Gray, a man with a superabundance of intelligence, could not say where he was really from. He claimed he was born in Sierra Leone, West Africa. That man was a coconut born in Antigua. Superabundance of intelligence, could not say where he was really from. He claimed he was born in Sierra Leone, West Africa. That man was a coconut born in Antigua. Gray disappeared from the UNIA with funds of the organization, which he handled in my absence and for whom a warrant was out for his arrest. There was also Leo Healy. I regarded him as a friend. The very morning when he came in to testify, I met him outside, shook his hand, not knowing that he was there to testify against me.
Backstabbing ass
And he said
nigga.
I was a good man, then I was bad because I did not pay him the bills of the Black Star Line. Garvey was not the Black Star Line. We were not asking his opinion of the Star Line. We were asking his opinion of Marcus Garvey. He said understand that he believed that I was a member of the Ku Klux Klan, Now he knows there ain't no black man a member of the KKK. Well, when we placed Mrs. Lawson on the witness stand, well, she wore dark glasses, obviously to obscure the movements of her eyes and her line of stare as she tried to communicate with the prosecutor. During cross-examination, we asked her to show her subpoena. As she fumbled around and looked at the district attorney, lowering her head, waiting for his approval. She said she bought stock in 1917, even though the Black Star Line never sold stock in 1917. It was not in existence then. She claimed to be sick, as were two other witnesses who were able to make a quick $30 in the 5 minutes they spent on the stand. Prosecutor wanted to appeal to the sympathy of that jury. A young man named Cargill admitted on the stand to the dismay and disgust of the prosecutor that he was told what to say concerning the circulars and letters supposedly brought in as evidence.
Perjury, lying on the stage and all types of shit they was doing.
Folks tried to misrepresent me and say that I do not like white people. Some of my best friends are white. The bishop, who was my friend since my youthful days, testified. When I asked him of his opinion of Marcus Garvey, he said, doubtful. I didn't understand what he meant. I was a public man. Opinions differ. Surely some men are doubtful of me and some are not. He didn't say that Garvey was doubtful. When I asked him for his personal opinion, the question was objected to and sustained by the judge, claiming that it was an improper question. There were some white-controlled newspapers who felt that I was railroaded. I remember one of them stated that my troubles began when I stepped on the toes of France and Great Britain, and that it was a very grave question whether justice had been in my case. After I was found guilty, they released me on $25,000 bail pending the hearing of the appeal. While waiting, I formed the Black Cross Navigation and Trading Company, business enterprises which comprise the Negro Factories Corporation, the Black Eagles Flying Corps, dress and millinery shops, a publishing company and printing plant, a phonograph company, a restaurant, laundries, a black doll factory, a hotel, a chain of grocery stores, and the Royal African Motor Corps.
We had all that, y'all.
I was in Detroit when the mandate was handed down. Having received the telegram to return immediately, I got on the first train leaving for New York. When I arrived, I was brutally seized by heavily armed men and pulled from a Pullman car at the 125th Street station and taken to the Tombs prison. But that there are certain people who do not like me because I am black. They do not like me because I was not born in the United States. Some Irish slave master gave my great-great-grandfather his name. Garvey is not an African name. It's Irish. Garcia is not African, nor is Thompson or Johnston. They were inherited from our slave masters, English, French, Irish, or Scotch. If I was born in Jamaica, it was no fault of mine. It was because the slave ship which took me to Jamaica did not go to American ports, and that is how some Negroes in America were not born in the West Indies.
Mr. Garvey, why would you want to stand up to a great republic like America?
We're not fighting America. We're not fighting this great government.
Then what are you doing?
We're fighting hypocrisy and lies.
Fact.
And this we're going to fight until the bitter end.
Fearful of being deported?
There's no federal law whereby I could be processed against on the grounds of being an undesirable from the point of view of deportation.
Yes, there is. Under Section 19 of the Act to regulate the immigration of aliens to and their residence in the U.S.
I arrived in this country on March 23rd, 1916. Today is June 18, 1923. That law still has not been enacted.
From the NAACP says, and I quote, Garvey must go.
Yeah, that?
Which is why J. Edgar Hoover, June 18,
Who said 1923, what?
That law still
Who
has
said
not
what?
been enacted.
From the NAACP says, and I quote, Garvey must go.
Hating ass
Which is
niggas.
why J. Edgar Hoover trumped up these charges against me.
Do you think it was a good idea to fire your
They was
attorney?
working with the feds, y'all. They known to work with the feds. If J. Edgar Hoover came out there, that mean them niggas was working with the feds. W.E.B. Du Bois and them was, y'all. To go against Garvey. God damn, Al Rat Sharpton worked with the feds. These niggas known, y'all. Straight up. One more again, man.
No, I do not.
Why not?
But the Constitution allowed
The NAACP says, and I quote,
in this country on March 23rd, 1916. Today is June 18, 1923. That law still has not been enacted.
From the NAACP says, and I quote, Garvey must go.
Which is why J.
Ass
Edgar
niggas,
Hoover
man.
trumped up these charges against me.
Do you think it was a good idea to fire your attorney?
You just said it.
Do you think that
They was working with the boys, man.
on you.
Rat ass
No, I do
niggas.
not.
Why not?
But the Constitution allows every man the privilege to defend themselves, to prove his innocence before an American court of justice, and so I decided to do so irrespective of being a lawyer.
District Attorney Mattock asked the jury, quote, "Gentlemen, will you let the tiger loose?" What's your reaction?
Guilty men are afraid of jail. I'm as much at home in jail for the cause of human rights as I am in my drawing room.
Well, what did you think of Mr. Dancy's testimony?
Mr. Dancy was used by this government to testify against me. You heard him when the prosecutor asked him whether any of the letters were from the Black Star Line.
He couldn't remember.
He couldn't remember. Mr. Dancy can't read. My life is at stake and he couldn't remember. What happened in that courtroom was a charade. You all know he was just lying through his teeth.
For a foreigner, why are you making all these waves? Even George Harris, editor of the New York News, a colored newspaper published in Harlem, referred to you as an alien.
An alien is one who enters a country on his own account without any invitation and who domiciles himself in that portion of the country because of his own desire.
Isn't that exactly what you did?
Fathers, but against my will, by stubborn protest, somebody seized me and brought me here from my silent repose in Africa 300 years ago. There'll be other cubs in the fold.
You met with Edward Young Clark, the acting imperial
because of his own desire.
Isn't that exactly what you did?
Fathers, but against my will, by stubborn protest, somebody seized me and brought me here from my silent repose in Africa 300 years ago.
When they get rid of you, then what?
This is only the first Marcus Garvey. There will be other cubs in the fold.
Facts.
You met with Edward Young Clark.
In the fold. Other cubs in the fold, you heard? To expose the continuance of exposing that hypocrisy, man. And that's what the fuck we over here doing. God damn it. That party ain't got no love for y'all. Straight up. I told y'all. Them motherfuckers still ain't come to no kind of agreement. At least to keep the government open. While they go through their little fuck shit. Their little one-hand. Acting like little babies and shit, man. Because they want more money for illegal migrants. We heard the facts. That's the other side y'all didn't hear. Because the Democrats keep filling y'all heads up with lies, deception. Not giving y'all the other side. Facts.
Of Americanism are waking up. And they're gaining a new political consciousness. Becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. They see that the whites are so evenly divided that every time they vote, the race is so close, they have to go back and count the votes all over again. And which means that any block, any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You can keep Johnson in Washington, D.C., or you can send him back to his Texas cotton patch. You're the one who sent Kennedy to Washington. You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. The whites were evenly divided. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And then all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and got it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you.
And then replaced you.
You put them first, and they put you last.
It never fails. A political chump.
A political chump. In Washington, D.C., in the House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republicans. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you bash controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you are dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
Trying to solve the problem. But you never, many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to. But the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling. You take him for a friend.
Many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. The wolf doesn't act friendly, and therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chop in his plate.
I'd like to point out, though, that
I say that because it is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro.
on the other hand, I think one could point to a large number of whites
like them niggas out there
for civil rights, for equality, and have got little or nothing out of it.
never get nothing out of it but some crumbs.
Quite a few bruises.
Give me an example.
Well, the
you think they doing something?
Of white students who have gone into the South, for example, working for SNCC and other organizations.
Not working for SNCC or other organizations, but working for the white political machines who benefit by the voting efforts of Negro.
Okay. Today, you could point to a large number of Negro leaders who have consistently betrayed Negroes in a whole host of areas.
They aren't really Negro leaders. These are puppets that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals.
Facts.
These are parrots that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals. You can't name me a Negro leader who has been betrayed Negroes, who has not been endorsed, sanctioned, subsidized.
Facts. God damn it.
In Washington, D.C., the whites were evenly divided. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and got it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first, and they put you last. Because you're a chump, a political chump. In Washington, D.C., in the House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republicans. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you bash controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
You hear that? You hear that, heathens? God damn it. You hear that? God damn it. You're a motherfucking traitor to your race. You out this motherfucking capping from the illegal migrants. And holding the American people and your own people for leverage. Fuck out of here.
Niggas playing deadly motherfucking war games. That nigga rapping about my motherfucking life. I'm talking fake ass motherfucker.
Motherfuckers playing deadly motherfucking war games out this motherfucker. You heard? Playing deadly war games out this motherfucker. Where the fuck is our 40 acres in the mule, goddammit? We already know Kamala Harris said no to reparations. Fuck wrong with you niggas? Still identifying yourself with that hating ass party. Fact.
Outsold them in 1 year, and I'm a convict, and my homeboy just got off a murder case. I know you niggas got no love for me, but how the fuck your whole clique turn the thugs on me? Like misdemeanors is a small thing. You niggas ain't ready for war, let my balls hang. Bust it, I took apart your whole crew that car. I ain't concerned, I bust on bad boy, mob deep and murder the firm. When you scream fake dubs, who the fuck you mean? Get more cream than all of y'all, nigga, fuck your team. Now Dre wanna switch sides, niggas hiding war. Last year I shed tears, but I don't cry no more. Plus Jay-Z tried to play me, won't last long. Go ask King Son how it feel to have your ass gone. Listen to Rock, don't get your shit now, you can't win. Tell them all to let the games begin. We having war games, nigga, y'all niggas can't feed this shit. Got shot 5 times, got out of jail on bail and sold 5 million. So more records than all you trick motherfuckers put together. Right, left, then left, right, I seen him stutter word. He didn't duck and got stuck with your uppercut. Now hear the crowd screaming, it's like they feeding. Oh, don't you love how that black man swing? We keep it real, tell Holyfield he next in line. So get his heart problem checked before he stepped to mine. It's belly to dawn, that's what they tell me I'm on. I'm dropping niggas like bomb, getting that ass like a dog. Picture a felon in your presence, taking busters back to the essence, telling my people keep my lethal message. God damn, now I'm a grown man. Follow no one, that nigga got my own plan. Watch me. They only here to cause confusion.
Facts.
We here to bring money and to bring change. They here to cause confusion.
Facts.
All these weak rappers, Nas, all these suckers, they battling off the east and west like this is a game. This ain't no game. If this was chess, we'd be yelling checkmate 3 years ago, because we've been beat these. After the fire comes the rain. After the pleasure, there's pain. Even though we broke for the moment, we can ball in the game. Time to make your my military be prepared for the buses. Similar to niggas be scary, get you name it. Rush Vincents are overback prisons. Vincents and niggas thug living. Precious 3 stripes, I hope they don't test us. And polar heater, ammunition, and crates. Shh, but without a sound as we slide down. Pistols and plates, they got me feeling for currency. The money be calling, it's like I'm dreaming. Singing scenes of me balling, participated in felonious behavior. Got the cop 4-5, snatching niggas' page. Label the mark, soon as we start. Let's get ready to.
How you gonna be a man and your baby starving? You heard? How you gonna be a man and your baby starving, goddammit? The world don't give a fuck about the kids, you heard? Teaching hate. Is that love for you or hate?
Not just the small time criminal times have changed. Homies died, only lives remain. Massive amounts of narcotics help me hide the pain. Sitting on the beds, came up on the jag, then got it out for the quiet times. Reflect on the past, on my homeboys that didn't make it. For you, I do it. Remember back in the days as young druids. Telling me to beware because you can. Help me to be prepared. Cemetery full of homies no longer here. But what about the babies? Lost and watching burglars. Don't come to be a dealer too young to be a murderer. I'm begging you, cop. Don't make their lives too hard. They already scarred. Too doped up to see us lost. We living to die. Everybody's high, plus I'm high too. Staring at the
world through my rear view.
Sipping Henny, I hustle for pennies. Know my own fear by many. I watched it too. Notes as a child, I strategize. Witnessing crack dealers and drug killers that scatter lives. Niggas don't know me, but they think that we could be closer than homies. Nigga, you phony, so quit buying drinks. Mind on my money and funny about my currency. Niggas don't wanna see me shooting, but they ain't bury me living in jail. Prison is hell for a nigga. They using my bail. Been bigger jails for a nigga. Father, I'm feeling tired. Forgive me, cause I'm a sinner. Living like it's a dub while ducking cops in the criminals. Homies stand bump. Past times are gone. That's why I drink liquor, cause my mind is gone. And if I die, then let me watch what we've been through. Staring at the world through my rear view. Don't make their lives too hard. They already scarred. Too doped up to see us lost. We live God, I'm saving you. Ain't nothing else to do but have faith in you. I'm begging you, cop. Don't make their lives too hard. They already scarred. Too doped up to see us lost. We live God, I'm saving you. Ain't nothing else to do but have faith in you.
Young G's and Queens about to get out of school. Got another 10 minutes before I wrap this video up. But I just wanted to do a video and let y'all hear the other side of the Republicans, because I know y'all not getting it, especially on the really like that in all these red states and shit. You know what I mean? These blue states, I'm sorry. These blue states, you ain't getting it. Flat out. They're gonna keep y'all stagnated with fake news and shit. Fake news gonna tell you the other side. They'll never present the other side. They bias, y'all. That's a perfect example of someone being biased. Just watch your news, local news. Read your local newspapers and shit. When they always pumping up one side. Pouncing up one side. You know what I mean? But yeah, we all know it's a Democratic shutdown. The party of evil and hate. We know this. We got the facts. You understand me? And like I said, get out in y'all community and go to y'all local Democrats, senators, or whoever y'all elected. We're not talking local politicians. We talking state. You understand me? Governor and things of that nature. Reach out to them and say, God damn it, did you vote to keep the government open and shut? My baby's hungry, God damn it. Your baby's gonna eat. You fucking selfish motherfuckers.